I was going through very stressful times at the moment, getting ready with my daughter and husband to move to a different country. I started feeling sick, lightheaded and with a fever. I checked with my gynecologist because I was experiencing pains during sex. He said he couldn't find anything, so I was sent to a urologist. After different kinds of investigations, finally they found a well-hidden abscess on my bladder, but not inside the bladder. The urologist said the infection is big, and he wouldn't recommend the antibiotics treatment, which aren't always be very quick. Because we were so close to leaving the country to a place with no health coverage. He said that the best way to get rid of it was to cut it out. It sounded like I had no better choice, so I agreed to surgery. I remember sitting in the waiting room, having a review of my life, analyzing my marriage, my bad relationship that I was having with my husband, and mostly thinking of my dear daughter who was 6 years old at that time. I knew the fights between my husband and I was not a good environment to raise a kid. I was trying to debate, in my mind, which way do I turn, leave him or continue in the poisoned marriage we had. I remember there were 4 or 5 patients in the waiting room for surgery, and the surgeon said I'd be the last one. I had lots of time to pray and think of my life over and over. Praying and asking God to give me a sign, just a little sign to know what the best to do in my life is. When I got into the surgery room, I was scared, but trusted God with all my heart. I knew when the doctor gave me the intravenous anesthetic, and from there on, I don't remember anything from the surgery room. I do remember an unearthly experience that I went through. I felt incredibly peaceful and happy, a sensation like I was not in my body. I felt like I was up in clouds, in the sky. I could see, while flying, tons of lights underneath. I had nothing to worry or to think about. I was extremely happy up there. At one point, I started wondering what it is with all those lights underneath. When I paid more attention, it seemed to me like I was able to distinguish that they were. Or at least some of them, were lights from houses or buildings. Immediately, it came to my mind that I'm sure that it was my hometown. I don't recall seeing people, but I started wondering where my family is. I really wanted to see my mom, dad, and brother. When that feeling of worry about them, not being able to see or find them got more intense, I started losing the happiness sensation. I felt like I was suffocating and all of a sudden found myself flying through a scary narrow tunnel at an amazing speed. I was in a continuous spin making me dizzy, and the more I was trying to find a way out, the more I felt like I was suffocating. I thought I was going to die. The trauma was incredible. I feel tension in my stomach while I recall that feeling. While spinning in that tunnel, I heard a voice saying, "Don't give up, don't give up." And soon enough I started seeing a blinding light. Even though I thought the light could kill my eyes, I knew I had to keep watching it to get me out of there. When flying through the tunnel, it felt incredibly long. But after hearing the voice and seeing the light, soon I started hearing other voices around. And that dominant voice saying, "You're almost there." Then the voices came closer and closer, and I thought I heard my mom's voice. Then heard myself yelling, "MOM, MOM, MOM, help me." And when my mom touched my head and answered, "I'm here dear, I'm here," I woke up in tears and asked her to hold me. I was terrified about all that fight to get out of the tunnel. That distress was so traumatic that I almost forgot the peaceful and the unbelievable happiness I experienced in the sky. My head is pounding now while retrieving that information. I am not scared anymore, but I was for a long time until I taught myself to focus on the good memories and the good in life rather than bad. I chose to be good, do good, think good, to love God and be thankful for everything.